Someone pulled the fire alarm at my school and I thought my life was actually over. I'm just sitting in class half asleep when suddenly the loudest alarm known to mankind starts screaming like we're in a horror movie. Everyone jumps, the teacher looks terrified, and I'm thinking, no way, this is real. Then the announcement comes on like,
"This is not a drill."
which obviously means it is a drill. So we all line up, walk outside in silence, and it's freezing. People are whispering like it's a crime scene. Rumors are flying and someone goes, "Bro, I think it was the 8th graders." We're standing there for like 20 minutes while teachers are arguing into walkie-talkies. Finally, we get sent back inside and the principal gets on the speaker sounding mad, like,
"Whoever pulled the fire alarm, we have cameras."
the entire hallway goes quiet. Next thing you know, 2 kids are missing from class, everyone's acting innocent, and the rest of the day feels tense for no reason. All that just because someone wanted to be funny for 5 seconds. Moral of the story, don't be those kids, because nobody thought it was funny, and it just ruined everyone's day.
Send this to a friend.
Would you rather have $1,000 or have a noob lose their Wi-Fi?
Oh, easy. Have a noob lose their Wi-Fi.
GTA 6 might get delayed again, and I'm not even joking. The literal studio building where they're developing just exploded. Around 5 a.m. in Edinburgh, fire crews rushed to Rockstar North's HQ, the main studio behind GTA 6, after a boiler room explosion. Nobody was hurt, but only because nobody was in the building at that hour. And that doesn't mean the damage was minimal, because if servers or storage drives were hit, years of GTA 6 assets could be gone. The weirdest phobias people actually have. First up, nomophobia, the fear of being without your phone. 1% battery and it's full panic. Next, chronophobia, the fear of time passing. Every tick of the clock feels personal. Then poganophobia, the fear of beards. One lumberjack sighting and it's over. There's also spectrophobia, the fear of mirrors, because what if it blinks first? Then agrostophobia, the fear of touching grass. Outside, sunlight, absolutely not. Send this to someone with agrostophobia, for the rarest genetic conditions only a few people have. Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, super stretchy skin and flexible joints. Tetrachromacy, seeing way more colors than normal. Their eyes are on max graphics. Dimples, those cute little indentations some people have that most don't. They pop when they smile, almost like a hidden cheat code. Polydactyly, extra fingers or toes. 10 isn't enough. They get bonus digits. Hyperthymesia, remembering every single day of their life like it's a movie. Forgetting, not in their vocabulary. It's crazy. You ever just look at your parents and realize they're not gonna be here forever? Like one day, the voice calling your name from the other room is gonna stop. The random lectures, the be careful, the way they wait up for you, it all feels normal right now. But it's not permanent. And that's the part we don't think about. They're getting older while we're busy growing up. And one day, we're gonna wish we had one more annoying reminder, one more hug, one more regular day. So maybe don't wait, because the time we think we have runs out faster than we think. We all got that one friend who does absolutely nothing in class and somehow still gets 100%. Like I'm talking head down, hoodie on, hasn't touched a pencil since September, and the teacher hands tests back and theirs just says, perfect in red ink. Meanwhile, I'm over here studying like it's the final boss fight, watching review videos, sacrificing sleep, and I still get an 82. This dude doesn't take notes, doesn't do homework until 5 minutes before it's due. And when you ask them, yo, did you study? They're like, nah, I forgot we even had a test. Forgot? Bro, I've been stressed about this since last week. And during the test, they finish in 10 minutes, put their head down, and start doodling, like this is arts and crafts. Then grades come out, and everyone's like, wait, they got 100? Of course they did. They always do. They don't try, they don't care, they don't even check their answers. And the teacher's like, excellent work. Excellent what? And the worst part is, they act surprised every single time. They'll be like, oh wow, I did good? Yes, you always do. At this point, I'm convinced they're an NPC with maxed out stats or they sold their soul for academic powers. No hate, no glaze, but if I had even half of whatever they got going on, it would be over for everyone. I'd be unstoppable. School would fear me. Send this to someone you love. Roses are red, violets are blue. I just want to say thank you for you being you. I don't say it enough, but that's true. Life feels a little less heavy because I have you. The weirdest phobias people actually have. First up, poundpunophobia, the fear of buttons. Shirts, jackets, jeans, one button, and it's already over. Next, omphallophobia, the fear of belly buttons. Seeing one is bad enough. Then there's emetophobia, the fear of throwing up. Even the thought can ruin the whole day. There's also venostrophobia, the fear of beautiful women. Your brain freezes, confidence disappears, especially if it's your crush. Send this to someone who has venostrophobia, the weirdest phobias people actually have. First up, somnophobia, the fear of falling asleep. Imagine being scared of going to bed. Then there's globophobia, the fear of balloons. One pop and it's instant panic. Then coulrophobia, the fear of clowns. Silly makeup, red noses, immediate bad vibes. There's also papyrophobia, the fear of paper. Paper cuts? Absolutely not. Then ablutophobia, the fear of bathing or washing. Showers? Impossible. Send this to someone with ablutophobia.
A kid played GTA 6 early, but it's not for the reason you think. His family reached out to Rockstar to grant the kid's last wish, and they quietly set up a private session just for him. The kid was dying from cancer with only a few weeks to live. Rockstar never announced it, never took credit, but knowing he got to experience GTA 6 before it's released proves it's not just a game. It was bro's final escape before.
Ain't no way people actually found a human leg on display in the meat section of a grocery store. Not too long ago, a man named Andrew Miller was doing his normal shopping when he noticed something at the meat section that just felt wrong. Because the piece of meat didn't look like it came from any animal at all and straight up looked human. Confused, he just left the store right away and called the police. When officers showed up, they locked the place down and took the owner in.
But here's where it gets weird.
The owner stayed super calm, like nothing bad was even happening. As police kept digging, they found out his wife had been reported missing just a few days earlier. And trust me, it only gets worse. After checking the back of the store, police found his wife alive but missing one leg. It later came out that she had cheated on him, and instead of turning himself in, he tried to hide what he did by selling her leg as meat. When I tell you this was the worst bathroom decision of my life, I mean it actually changed how I feel about school bathrooms forever. One day in middle school, I really had to use the bathroom like emergency mode. The teacher wouldn't let me go at first, but finally gave me the pass. I walked down the hallway feeling free. I pushed the bathroom door open, and instantly knew something was off. It was way too quiet. No sinks running, no stalls closing, just vibes. Bad ones. I step inside anyway. Big mistake. There were kids standing on the sinks. Someone was filming. Someone else was yelling, "Look out!" And one stall was straight up duct taped shut. I froze. I didn't even need the bathroom anymore. Then I hear footsteps. A teacher. Everyone panics. Kids jump down. Phones disappear. Someone flushes nothing. I'm just standing there, holding the pass like I'm involved. The teacher walks in, looks around, looks at me, and says, "Did you see anything?" I shook my head so fast I almost passed out. She tells me to go back to class. I walked out without using the bathroom, and held it for the rest of the day out of pure fear. You ever realize how conversations with your parents slowly change without you noticing? When you were younger, you could talk non-stop about anything and everything. Your day, your feelings, random thoughts, and it just felt easy and safe. But as you get older, something shifts. You want to explain what's going on in your head, but it's complicated now. You're changing, your thoughts are deeper, and you're scared they'll misunderstand, overreact, or turn it into a lecture, so you stay quiet. Not because you don't care, and not because you don't love them, but because the version of you they remember is easier to explain than the person you're becoming. The weirdest phobias people actually have. First up, lutrophobia, the fear of otters. Yes, otters. The cute floaty animals that hold hands. Next, cybophobia, the fear of food. Every meal is a horror movie. How do you even survive? Then, dentophobia, the fear of opening your mouth, talking, yawning. No, don't forget about ergophobia, the fear of work. Just seeing a desk makes you want to crawl back into bed and do absolutely nothing. Send this to someone with ergophobia.
Send this to someone you don't like. Roses are red, violets are blue. My crush just texted me back. And it wasn't you. Don't worry, I smiled, and almost cried too. But seeing you exist reminded me why no one likes you.
I accidentally overheard a conversation I was never supposed to hear, and I'm still not over it. I'm just scrolling on my phone at school when I hear these kids whispering like they're on a top-secret mission. Let me break down the convo. One kid goes, "Did he see the fireworks in the bathroom?" Fireworks? In the bathroom? Another one whispers, "Bro, he cannot find out about the spaghetti incident." Spaghetti incident? Am I dreaming? Then someone mumbles, "Hide the trays before anyone notices the sauce explosion." Sauce explosion? I freeze like a glitching NPC, and they keep yapping. "We'll tell him it was the janitor," one kid says. The other whispers back, "Don't forget, mop the floor before the bell." Okay, now I'm questioning reality. Then one of them says my name, my actual name. And just as I turn around, a figure spawns in behind me. The principal. My heart is racing, and he says,
I need to talk to you. Send this to someone who needs to lock in. Notice how the GPS never says, made a mistake? It just says, recalculating route. Be like the GPS this year, gang.
The weirdest phobias people actually have. First, hippopotamonstrosis quipedaliophobia, the fear of long words. Yes, the name itself is the threat, and reading it already feels illegal. Next, cactusophobia, the fear of sitting down. You're exhausted, but your brain says absolutely not, and chairs become public enemy number one. Then, dipnophobia, the fear of eating in front of people. Every bite feels loud, everyone is watching, and suddenly you forget how chewing ever worked. There's also tyrophobia, the fear of cheese. Pizza night is canceled, and dairy turns into pure nightmare fuel.
A man brought his army of homeless people into a 5-star restaurant. It didn't end well.
Yo, want some food?
Yeah.
We just have a table for 5.
Heat, bro!
Woo!
We want food.
We want food. We want food.
My name is Casper. If you guys need anything.
We need food, man.
Yeah.
Food. We want food.
You need to leave!
We want bread. We want bread.
I hear we're like chanting for food.
We want the food. We want food.
Hey, no.
We want food.
No.
We want food.
Hey! All of you!
We-
Please. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave right now.
We want bread. We want bread. We want bread.
Bro is the definition of free will.
The names of things you didn't know had names. First up, the Brannick device. That weird metal foot thing at shoe stores. Yeah, that torture device that tells you your shoe size. Next, vagitus. The very first cry a newborn makes. Literally, their first ever scream, then womble. That gross dizzy feeling when you're super hungry, like your stomach is doing backflips for no reason. After that, petrichor. The smell after it rains. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That fresh outside smell that hits for no reason. There's also tines, the pointy parts on a fork. Yeah, those spikes have a name. Send this to someone who thought forks were just forks.
Remember when you'd hide your arms in your sleeves and swear you were armless? Remember when a single cartoon episode felt like half your day? Remember when that one S symbol showed up in every notebook without explanation? Remember when gym class meant holding on to a giant rainbow parachute? Remember when your stuffed animals had feelings and all needed equal attention? Remember when clicking every color on a multi-ink pen felt like breaking the rules? Remember when water from the hose was ice cold and delicious? Remember when running through sprinklers on a hot day felt like freedom? Remember when asking for a sleepover took weeks of convincing your parents? Remember when pillow forts were impenetrable bases and markers turned into swords? Remember when raindrops on the car window became a full-on competition? Remember when seeing yourself on the store security screen felt unreal? Remember when $10 made you feel rich? Remember when shrinking a pencil down to nothing was the biggest achievement? Remember when we were in a rush to grow up, not knowing we'd miss this forever?
The weirdest phobias people actually have. First up, erythrobutyrophobia, the fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth. One sandwich and it's panic mode. Next, anatidophobia, the fear that somewhere, somehow, a duck is watching you, judging every move. Then trypophobia, the fear of tiny holes grouped together, bubbles, honeycombs, sponges. Your brain says nope. There's also gynophobia, the fear of women. Eye contact, impossible. Talking to girls, game over. Send this to someone who has gynophobia. You ever have those days where you're already overwhelmed? Like you're doing everything you can just to keep yourself together, and then someone raises their voice at you, and suddenly your chest tightens, your eyes burn, and you're trying so hard not to cry right there. They don't see how much effort you've been putting in. They don't see the stress, the pressure, the constant overthinking, or everything you've been carrying by yourself. All they notice is that one moment you mess up and the yelling already hurts. But what hurts even more is knowing you were already exhausted, already giving your best, already fighting your own battle in your head, and still trying your hardest for everyone around you. Roses are red, violets are blue. My favorite place in this world is right next to you, when everything's loud and I don't know what to do. My heart feels at home every time I'm with you. Tell me why deja vu feels like my brain just accidentally hit the rewind button and didn't tell me. Like I'll be sitting there minding my business and suddenly my brain goes, nah bro, you've seen this exact moment before. Same room, same vibe, same weird feeling in your stomach. And now I'm spiraling. Am I psychic?
Did I time travel?
Or is my brain just lagging like a Roblox server on 1000 ping? And the worst part is when you know something is about to happen, but it doesn't. So now you're just staring at people like a creep waiting for the prophecy to complete. And everyone's like, you good? Nah. Because now I feel like I'm stuck in a deleted cutscene of my own life. And then it's gone. No explanation, no answers. Just me questioning reality for the rest of the day.
You ever notice when someone doesn't leave all at once, they just slowly cut you off like nothing happened? No fight, no goodbye. Replies get dry, calls stop. And one day you realize you're not part of their life anymore. You see them laughing with new people, acting like you never existed. And it messes with your head. You start wondering if it was something you said or did. But sometimes there's no reason. People change. And the ones you thought would stay slowly fade away. That kind of loss hurts different because there's no closure, just silence. And those memories still haunt you.
Shower thoughts that will snap your mind in half. The person that discovered they could get milk from a cow, what were they doing in the first place? The blinks of your eyes get removed from your memory. You don't feel your clothes touching you unless you think about it. When you're born deaf, what language do your thoughts use? The word Q is just the letter Q followed by silent letters waiting their turn. You and your best friend won't be at each other's funeral, which is... I answered the wrong number and it changed my life. The last part of this story is actually insane. My phone rings, it's a random number, and some guy goes, "Is this Marcus?" I panic. My brain shuts off, and instead of saying no, I say yes. He immediately goes, "Perfect. You're still coming tonight, right?" I have absolutely no idea what he's talking about. But a few minutes later, he texts me an address and says, "Don't be late." At this point, I'm way too curious to ignore it. So I tell my friend, and we actually show up. There's a line outside this sketchy-looking building, and the same guy from the call spots me and goes, "Marcus, finally." Before I can explain anything, he hands me a badge and waves me inside. Turns out it's a pop-up gaming tournament with real money on the line. Plot twist. The real Marcus bailed last minute, and I accidentally took his spot. I somehow place second and walk out with enough cash to buy my first PC. All because I answered the wrong number.